I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing.
Breaking tonight, the FBI releases someone they called a person of interest in the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk in Utah today. Reaction to the killing pouring in.
And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
Charlie Kirk, a 31-year-old husband and father of two, was struck by a single bullet as he spoke to a crowd at Utah Valley University today. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. Just a short time ago, we learned the suspected shooter remains at large tonight after the FBI director said a person who was taken into custody was ultimately released after an interrogation. And tonight, President Trump has posted a video online vowing to find anyone involved.
My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it.
Tonight, KTVU's political reporter Greg Lee has more on the violence we saw unfold today in Utah and what Charlie Kirk meant to the conservative movement.
Video shows conservative activist Charlie Kirk speaking at Utah Valley University moments before he was shot. The large crowd that gathered to see him running for safety. This single shot hitting Kirk, who was rushed to the hospital. Less than 2 hours later, President Trump confirmed the 31-year-old husband and father of two had died. Writing on Truth Social, the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us.
So I turned around, and like 10 to 20 seconds later, after I got done talking to Charlie, I saw that he was shot in the neck.
A university spokesperson said the suspected shooter fired from another building about 200 yards away. Kirk was 20 minutes into his presentation.
Everyone got down. Everyone was so scared, and I just grabbed her, and my boss was with us, which is her mom. She was like, run, and we finally got up and followed the crowd.
Law enforcement swarmed the campus, officers moving from building to building. Attorney General Pam Bondi writing, FBI and ATF agents are on the scene.
I've been at this for 13 years, and it's been a wild movement, really accelerated once President Trump kind of came on the scene.
This video from Kirk's appearance on Governor Gavin Newsom's podcast earlier this year. Kirk was the founder and president of Turning Point USA, widely considered the nation's preeminent youth conservative organization. The shooting sparked bipartisan condemnation. Newsom writing, quote, "The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible in the United States of America. We must reject political violence in every form." Kirk, the conservative firebrand, was a close ally of the president, helping to move young voters to Trump in 2024, in part through his podcast. The visit to Utah was the first in a 15-stop college tour. Kirk tweeted pictures of the large crowd's moments before the shooting, writing, "We are so back."
You come up, you could disagree in front of the line. We're going to have a lot of fun today, and maybe eventually we'll make San Francisco red.
Kirk visited the Bay Area in May, speaking at San Francisco State. That stop attracting protesters and supporters at his Prove Me Wrong table, a centerpiece of his messaging where he engages people from the crowd in debate. Turning Point USA released a statement saying, in part, "We ask that everyone keep his family and loved ones in your prayers. We ask that you please respect their privacy and dignity at this time." Greg Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
After learning about today's shooting, many people gathered at the headquarters of Turning Point USA in Phoenix today. Some left flowers to honor Charlie Kirk, the CEO and founder of that influential conservative organization. Those who showed up talked about why they were drawn to Kirk and his movement.
It was always about Jesus. It was the only thing that he done all this for, was to lead people to Christ. And he was an incredible inspiration to not only me, but thousands of people here throughout the valley and to the millions of people all around the world.
And Kirk was a familiar face in Arizona. He owned a home in the Phoenix area. Lawmakers across the West are weighing in tonight on Kirk's killing. Utah Senator Mike Lee posted to social media saying in part, quote, "This murder was a cowardly act of violence, an attack on champions of freedom like Charlie, the students who gathered for civil debate, and all Americans who peacefully strive to save our nation. May justice be swift." Colorado Congressman Jason Crow called the killing a horrible tragedy.
Whether you're a Republican or Democrat or unaffiliated or just someone living their life, everybody must condemn this, right? We cannot allow ourselves to devolve into a nation of political violence like this where it becomes common. It's unacceptable.
Oregon Senator Ron Wyden called attention to the political violence in this country with a post on X. He wrote, quote, "Political violence has no place in our country. My thoughts are with Charlie Kirk and his loved ones." Washington Senator Patty Murray echoed those sentiments, posting to X, quote, "Political violence is never acceptable. It's really that simple. We can't have a democracy otherwise." Now, earlier we spoke with political analyst Nolan Higdon from UC Santa Cruz, who said this deadly shooting appears to be part of a troubling trend in this country of politically motivated violence.
The shootings in Minnesota in June, or what happened in Colorado earlier this summer, or of course the fire at the home of the governor of Pennsylvania, Governor Shapiro, not to mention the assassination attempts on Donald Trump. This has become the new normal for too many folks.
Higdon said that officials within the political system may also need to do a better job of showing the public that U.S. democracy is still working for all Americans. And our coverage of Charlie Kirk's killing continues online. Head over to westcoastrap.com to find the latest information on this ongoing investigation. You'll also find a detailed history of Turning Point USA, the conservative youth organization that Charlie Kirk helped to found. We turn now to Colorado, where 3 high school students were shot on campus today at a school. And tonight we're learning one of those students, the suspected shooter in this case, has died. This all happened around 12:30 this afternoon at Evergreen High School, about 30 miles west of Denver. Police say none of the dozens of law enforcement officers who responded is believed to have fired any shots. Worried parents rushed to a local elementary school to reunite with their children.
That my daughter's okay, but again, it's just a community that is going to be going through this, and prayers for the family that have to deal with it, you know.
Police say they are still investigating exactly what led up to that shooting today. A bill that would ban law enforcement officers from wearing masks in California has passed through the state assembly. That bill was authored by San Francisco's state senator Scott Wiener, and it's meant to be a response to federal immigration raids that have been happening across California. It would ban federal and local law enforcement from wearing masks except for medical use, SWAT teams, or undercover operations. It would also not apply to the CHP. If it passes, violations of the law could result in an infraction or misdemeanor. The bill is now headed to the state Senate. And if that effort does not move forward, some leaders in the city of San Jose are looking to pass a similar measure. KTVU's Jesse Gary has a look tonight at the proposal that's being put forward at San Jose City Hall.
We believe it is important to act proactively so that the trust between our residents and those sworn to protect them is never at risk.
Tuesday, amid cloudy skies and sprinkles, many of San Jose's leaders standing united in a push to propose and pass a new ordinance making it illegal for law enforcement officers to conceal their faces. The proposal would also apply to federal agents, such as ICE. LA, New York, and several states have pursued a similar course of action.
When federal agents operate in the dark, when they hide behind masks or fail to show who they are not just hiding their faces, they are hiding from accountability.
Community members say the fear of being swept up in a federal immigration enforcement action is keeping some indoors and giving others panic attacks.
When we can't see the officer's face, we live in fear of the person next to us. This is the reality for many in our community.
It feels like a tunnel. Don't know if we can see the light at the end of that.
One immigrant rights group says federal agents detained one person early Wednesday morning near the immigration office in South San Jose. This office has been targeted at least twice earlier this year by demonstrators.
I think this is all the more important that individuals can distinguish between federal agents and local law enforcement.
If passed into law, the proposal mandates officers must be unmasked except in situations where required for health and safety. They must also display official, visible identification during enforcement activities. One expert who's sympathetic towards this effort says it's unclear if this type of law would apply to federal agents.
That normally federal officers would have immunity against state sanctions under state laws. Here I think you could make an argument that wearing masks is not a minimal necessity for carrying out the actions that these officers are doing.
Advocates say removing mask law enforcement from city streets will increase transparency and accountability while enhancing community trust in law enforcement.
If ICE was working with and for our communities and with respect for our shared American values, there would be no reason to wear masks.
Late Wednesday afternoon, the Rules Committee voted unanimously in favor of asking the full council to recommend to staff draw up that new ordinance. It could be voted on within the next month. Outside San Jose City Hall, Jesse Gary, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, in a tough economy, some people say they're finding success going into the trades. Tonight, what's driving demand for skilled workers?
And in weather, here's our live camera looking out toward Phoenix. A current temperature of 102 degrees. We will have more of the forecast coming up after the break.
It get bad in town, and I've seen it boom. And there's been a lot more boom years than bad years.
Las Vegas's tourism slump hits a business with an international following. Coming up tonight, the people behind the hit TV show Pawn Stars share how they're trying to work through some tough times. A major bust of illegal vapes included the seizure of some products in Arizona. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi spoke about the investigation today, and she said a joint effort by the ATF and the FDA included the seizure of hundreds of thousands of illegal vaping products across the country. Investigators believe many of those vapes were smuggled in from China.
Let this be a clear message to the retailers and the distributors pushing these illicit vaping products on our kids and on our families. This ends today. This is your final warning. The Department of Justice will use every legal tool available to stop the distribution of illegal vaping products in America.
The largest seizure was in Bensonville, Illinois, where investigators say they found 600,000 units of illegal product. We have new details tonight on a Southern California murder case where a body was found inside the trunk of a Tesla that belongs to a well-known singer. Those remains were found earlier this week. Authorities say they were badly decomposed and dismembered, and they have yet to be identified. But investigators have ruled that they were from a woman. They say the victim was 5'1" with black hair and weighed just 70 pounds. She had a tattoo on her ring finger that said, "Shh," and a pendant shaped like a W. Her body was found Monday at the Hollywood Tow impound lot after employees reported a strong odor coming from that car. The car has been traced to singer David, who is on tour right now. The car was towed as an abandoned vehicle as it was never reported stolen or missing.
Obviously, no one is suggesting, at least authorities are not suggesting that David was, behind this or, did anything untoward here, but they want to talk with him. He is cooperating, we have been told, with authorities.
Police tonight are asking anyone who has information in this case or information that could help them to identify the victim to reach out to the Los Angeles Police Department. In Las Vegas, the A's submitted a new proposal today to add local police and firefighter facilities to their new ballpark. This is a $1.1 million development agreement building a Clark County fire post in the ballpark's garage, along with a booking room, a holding cell, and an interview room for the Metropolitan Police Department. The Clark County Zoning Commission will hear this proposal at its next meeting set for September 17th. The A's 33,000-seat ballpark is expected to open up for fans in 2028. Let's talk about our weather here in the West because things have been unsettled here for the first part of the week. People in Denver had a chance today to take advantage of a break in the stormy conditions. This is a live look tonight at the city where it's still relatively clear, but it may not last for long. Let's bring in KTVU's chief meteorologist Mark Tamayo, who's tracking the thunderstorm threat in Colorado and storms we're seeing all across the West. Hey, Mark.
Hi there, Alex. Yeah, somewhat of an unsettled weather pattern across parts of the West that will continue as we take a look at the forecast in Colorado, because we do put this into motion, showing you some of the coverage on the increase as we do head into your Thursday. Once again, as Alex mentioned, that break and it could be coming to an end, and then into Friday as well. Some more action moving in from the south and from the west. Here's the bigger picture across the west. As you can see, the circulation over northern California, southern Oregon, this producing some showers and thunderstorms for portions of the San Francisco Bay Area, and that coverage extending into portions of Oregon, as you can pick out as we do move this into a little bit of a closer look here in Oregon and parts of Idaho. There's the coverage here, all the lightning strikes showing up here. Look at all the action from earlier this afternoon up in northern California, even approaching portions of the Bay Area. And then as you can see, here's some coverage kind of rotating into southern Oregon, central Oregon as well. This was a scene in Seattle today, showing you a bit of some haze and some sunshine. Temperature of 75 degrees. In San Francisco, there's all that cloud cover. A high today in San Francisco, close to 70 degrees. And then in the Phoenix area, showing you a temperature of 108 degrees earlier this afternoon. So the triple-digit heat, as you would expect, it's out in the Phoenix area. Right now, Las Vegas, though, has cooled off to 87 degrees. Reno in the upper 50s and some 70s, lower 70s for both Portland and Seattle. Here's the plan for tomorrow. We'll have fair skies up to the north, some clouds for the San Francisco Bay Area, at least for the morning hours, and maybe some drizzle. Warm to hot forecast for LA out toward the Phoenix area. And then as you can see, the chance of some scattered showers in the Denver area. So here's the forecast model. Tomorrow morning, this is your Thursday morning, 7 o'clock. It does pick up on the shower threat out toward parts of Oregon. And there we go, out toward Denver, at least portions of Colorado, picking up on the shower threat. And then into the afternoon hours, maybe some more thunderstorms out toward the Sierra Nevada. And then it looks like just to the east of Phoenix, we could be talking about some rain showers and maybe some thunderstorms making a comeback for tomorrow. And then into a Friday and a Saturday, you see that system kind of progress out to the north and to the east. And then possibly another system that could be a factor later in the weekend. So here's the forecast over the next 3 days. We have fair skies up in Seattle. San Francisco has the clouds in the morning with maybe some drizzle, partly cloudy conditions into the afternoon hours. Los Angeles, temperatures in the upper 70s and triple digits for Phoenix, as you would expect for this time of year, with some slight cooling by Saturday. So still not talking about any extreme heat, but still that unsettled weather pattern that could trigger some showers and thunderstorms across parts of the west. Alex.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, Mark, thank you. We have an update tonight on the growing demand in the trade industry. Earlier this week, we showed you how some trade schools in Colorado are struggling to find enough instructors to teach students. Tonight, Fox 13's John Franke shows us why more people believe trade jobs are the best bet for a bright future.
What I'm seeing in trades right now is somewhat of a shortage of skilled workers.
Stephen Ware is actively recruiting electricians at West Jordan's Encore Electric.
There's a huge need for it. There's just work going on everywhere, and we need more folks to want to be interested in helping build the things that we need here in Utah.
He believes this is a great option for those who have finished high school and are looking to start a career immediately.
It gives you a livelihood that you could work with for the rest of your life, and it's a great creative outlet for a lot of people these days who want to build and do things.
And no one can take the trade away from you at the end of the day.
Exactly. No one can take the skills away from you.
It's the exact career path he took.
15 years ago, I started as a first-year apprentice. I worked through the field, become licensed journeyman, and then a foreman, and then came into the office for Encore Electric on the pre-construction side, helping us to get more work here in Utah.
I reached out to the Utah Department of Workforce Services, and they agree trade jobs are in demand. Over the last 12 months, the state has added some 5,000 positions in construction alone.
A nice option for folks, especially since they don't have to put their earnings on pause while they pursue their education. They can earn as they develop their job skills.
And these careers are not threatened by artificial intelligence.
These jobs are a little bit buffered from potential displacement due to effects like that because it requires a human on the scene.
Ware believes another benefit is learning a skill without accumulating student loan debt. Encore covers the costly apprenticeship and on-the-job training. And in terms of career growth, the sky can be the limit.
You could do so many things once you get your license and get some experience in the field. We have guys that are engineers now that we've helped put through school to get engineering. They're project managers. We're just all sorts of different things that you could do with it.
And that was Fox 13's John Franke reporting for us tonight. Utah's Office of Economic Opportunity tracks trade industry trends, and the office estimates about 25% of jobs in the state were trade jobs in 2023. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, diehard soccer fans are playing a lottery of sorts right now. Up next, the unusual process underway to score World Cup tickets for next year's matches here in the West. Plus, the stars of Pawn Wars calling attention to Las Vegas's tourism slump. San Francisco-based OpenAI has signed a massive deal in the world of cloud computing. The AI company has made an agreement to buy $300 billion in cloud computing power from software company Oracle. This deal will roll out over 5 years, beginning in 2027. Oracle stock surged today after the deal was announced. The contract is dependent on the continued growth of OpenAI's ChatGPT, and OpenAI will face regulatory reviews. The operators of Las Vegas's famous gold and silver pawn shop say having a hit TV show like Pawn Stars has not been enough to insulate them from the city's ongoing tourism slump. They spoke with Fox 5's Kim Passoff about the downturn in business they're experiencing.
Believe it or not, you are standing in the oldest building in Las Vegas Boulevard.
Fans from around the world, Australia, Israel, and Mexico, come for Rick Harrison's autograph and a few photos. Long before he was an international TV star, Pawn Stars now airing in 150 countries, Harrison was a small business owner who moved to Las Vegas in 1981.
I remember when nothing was behind Caesar's Palace. There was a big gap between Henderson and Vegas.
He opened the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop on Las Vegas Boulevard, now in business 37 years.
I've seen it get bad in town, and I've seen it boom. And there's been a lot more boom years than bad years. We all remember 2009. A little bit less customers than last year. Probably averaging right around 1,500 people a day right now.
Harrison says about half of his customers are international tourists, and the decline in visitors is particularly noticeable among Asian countries. Harrison says his business is more than just a TV show, and the pawn shop, like Las Vegas, has to adapt.
How are you guys adapting as a business to
No, it's evolved over time, change merchandise around and things like that. I don't know anything about Pokemon cards, but Chum does, so I sell Pokemon cards now. You give your customers what they want.
He believes the Strip should change too, that high prices and resort fees are keeping tourists away.
I was on the Strip the other night. Me and my fiance had 2 drinks, and it was like $57. Supposed to be like $139 a night, and then you show up, $50 a night, resort fee, and then you have the parking fee and this fee and everything, and it turns into $300 a night, and that pisses people off.
And that was Fox 5's Kim Passoff reporting tonight from Las Vegas. The number of people visiting Las Vegas is down about 12% compared to last year. Well, the first phase to get tickets to the 2026 FIFA World Cup is now underway. You can now enter a lottery for the opportunity to buy tickets for those World Cup matches. FIFA will ask you basic information like your name and your country of origin. And then at the end of this month, FIFA will make selections. If you are selected from the lottery, FIFA will assign you a date in October to buy tickets. As far as how much you'll pay, that will depend on demand, a practice called dynamic pricing.
We saw that because of many of the socio-political issues impacting immigration and being able to come to the United States, we saw that the dynamic pricing scheme fell very flat on its face, so much so to where empty stadiums oftentimes tank the prices to under $15 for prime tickets.
FIFA says group stage matches will start at $60. There will be matches played in Seattle, the Bay Area, and Southern California. That does it for West Coast Wrap. Good night.